Well, I think there's three things I'm taking away from this interview. One, you're the plug. Mia X was the plug. Like, I had no idea.
You can ask anybody from No Limit.
I had no idea that you connected so many things together with No Limit. And, we have to continue to be the bridge, to connect, the generations together. And I think food is a common place where everybody meets in the middle. Like, no matter who you are, you're going to eat 3 times a day, bare minimum, right?
That's right.
And I think that's the best place to do it. The name of the book is called Mia X, Things My Grandmother Told Me, Things My Grandma Showed Me. This is what it looks like. Get it so it has the cover, so you can get these high definition pictures. Oh, and shout out to you for the New Orleans flair, because when you're looking at the recipes, right, it says make the groceries.
Yes.
That is such a New Orleans thing, yo.
Make the groceries. You go make your groceries so we can put everything together. You got to make the groceries.
You got to make the groceries.
Make
yo,
your
I rocks
groceries,
with it.
baby.
Yo, if people want to follow you, where do they go?
You can hit me on Instagram, the Mama Mia X, on Twitter, the Real Mia X. On Facebook, you can hit me on Mia X, and just vibe with me. I'm so happy to have people still riding with me after all this time. It almost brings tears to my eyes because people have a choice on who they want to support. So when they continue to ride with you, you have to be forever grateful. And
Mia
I
X,
am.
you're like the Loretta Devine of rap. Like, who hates Loretta Devine? You know what I'm saying? You come in, people like you're gonna eat. When you look at Loretta Devine, you know she cooking, right?
Yes.
You know she cooking,
Yes.
and you know she gonna give you a big old hug, and you're gonna have a great old time. And that's the energy you always gave
But
off.
that's how I feel. I want a big old hug, and I want to feed you, and I don't want you to do nothing stupid. I want to keep you knucklehead free.
There it is, man. Mia X, looking good. I mean, are we talking about your age? Are we talking about that?
Just know I have a 30-year-old and a 28-year-old.
Mind blown. And she looks like a 20-year-old. It's crazy.
No, I don't. Now, come on now.
Nah, yo, that face looking young. There's no snatch there. That's natural.
It's no snatch, no, and it won't be no snatch. I'm gonna just let my face and everything else do what it do.
You aging like an Asian over there. We don't know. We can't figure out how old you are. You look beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, Mia X is in the house. Headkrack After Hours. And one thing I want to also touch on real quick is congratulations on you beating cancer. I remember a couple years ago we linked up in New Orleans during Mardi Gras.
Yes.
And you had either you had just announced your diagnosis or you had just finished your treatment.
No, I had just announced my diagnosis because I had actually been diagnosed even the year before that. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't going to tell anybody because they said we're going to do radiation and then we're going to do surgery. And so I was like, well, you know what? If everything works out after surgery, I'll tell everyone. But what happened during my treatment, I met this lady and she had brain cancer. And I would help her get dressed. And, I became like her little daughter. One day her actual daughters was there with her. And so they was like, Mama, you don't know who that is? That's Mia X. So they was like, wait, why are you here? We took a picture and they put it on Facebook and they said it. And once they said it, I was like, well, I better say it because, people had misdiagnosed me. They said I had breast cancer. I had uterine cancer. Oh. And so I felt I had to come out and say it. And then throughout my treatment, I would take pictures at the doctor and, tell them a little about it. September is Endometrial Cancer Awareness Month. The color is peach. A lot of people don't know about it because it's a understudied, under-researched cancer. Yeah. And a lot of ladies die, like they really die. And it is a hard, hard, hard battle. It is an expensive battle. I took to the stage with diapers on so I could pay my medical bill because I was bleeding so much. But I am thankful that after radiation and after a surgery, I am okay, with the exception of when I was in surgery, I did Da Vinci robotic surgery for cancer, and I was upside down, and my eyes were taped. And when they removed the tape off the left eye, they tore my cornea off. Ooh. So I only have 73% of my vision in this eye. And That's the only bummer, but the good thing is no cancer. The after effects, you're always I'm weaker than I think I was, and you get a little tired every now and then coping with having a total hysterectomy. That's a lot sometimes. There are a lot of struggles that come with having cancer, and I don't think people understand that. I don't think people understand that in addition to a woman being diagnosed with cancer and having to wrap her mind around that, she also has to still cook, still clean.
And
If
be
she has
maternal.
children,
Yeah.
still take care of the children. If she has a job, still work. And so many ladies, including myself, straight from radiation, we had to go to work. And I don't think people understand that, and we're still dealing with things like infidelity and all kind of stuff in the midst of this disease attacking you. When you get cancer, you basically get jumped by cancer and life.
Yeah, and your body is fighting
Oh,
constantly from the inside. I mean, you guys are true survivors. I
it's
mean,
you fight
anyone
after
who's
the fact.
battling.
It's like almost a never ending story. And the thing is, you beat cancer in one place, but it's relentless. Cancer never stops trying to come somewhere
Trying to
else.
find an entry
It
point,
just
a
never.
cellular attack.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you made it through all that, and it points out to another thing, because like every now and then you see people within the culture get sick with something, or have something happen, and we got to figure out a way to unionize at some level, as artists and
Yes.
musicians, and figure out how we can keep healthcare going for these people who can't afford it, because you may be popping in your 20s and your 30s, early 40s, but what happens when you're 60 and you really need it? We don't think about that, because I would imagine that whole time where everything was moving so fast, it went by so fast. When
Right.
you think about it and you think it's going to be forever, but then you get to this point where okay, now I'm of a certain age and I don't have health care. I don't have a time accrued at a particular job or anything. And okay, so how am I going to, take care of myself? Because those are the years you're really going to need it.
And that's why we definitely have to organize something, because even for myself, we couldn't. I was given Tarceva, which was an oral chemo, but it was not covered by insurance.
Mhm.
So a lot of times with your medication and based on your illness, you may get a medication that is not covered. So that means you have to pay. And sometimes it's $1,000 a pill, or even more. So we do have to do something. In entertainment, like you say, we make the money, but it's not enough set up. You have to sit back and say, okay, I'm making all this money, but I'm not going to buy all these chains because
Right.
I want to live to see 50 and 60 and 70, and I still want to be comfortable. It's a catch 22. The
Now,
way the
what were
game
some
is
of the
set up.
early warning signs?
So for myself, I was having a lot of pelvic discomfort, and in between my monthly cycles, I was bleeding where it didn't even make sense. The blood flow, and your body, I always say, your body is the real temple of God, and you have to listen to your body because it gives you signs. Unfortunately, because we have things to do, we push through the pain.
Yeah.
See, all women know how to do is just do. So you start saying, oh, my stomach hurt, but I got to go to work. I got to cook these children food, and you just keep going and going and going, not knowing that something serious can happen. And what happened with me, I was thinking, okay, well, it must be fibroids. And finally, when I went to the doctor, they saw something else in my uterus. And then I had to get a biopsy. But I want ladies and men, pay attention to your body, your inner voice. That's the voice of God telling you, go see about you, because health is wealth. You can't make the money if you're not healthy.
True indeed.